Keanu Reeves' dog gets kicked by a biker. You won't believe what happens next. A peaceful morning in the park. It was an ordinary, sunlit morning in a quiet park nestled in the heart of a busy city. People were jogging along the path, walking their dogs, and enjoying the warmth of the day. Among them was a beautiful, well-groomed golden retriever named Max, who trotted happily beside his owner, a man in his late 40s with a calm presence, Keanu Reeves. Keanu loved his morning walks with Max. It was his time to reflect, breathe, and escape from the hustle of his everyday life. Keanu had always been a dog lover, and Max had been his loyal companion for over 5 years. The bond between them was unbreakable. Keanu wasn't just Max's owner, he was his best friend, and Max trusted him completely. Enter the biker. As Keanu and Max walked through the park, enjoying the peace, a loud roar of a motorcycle engine suddenly pierced the serenity. A man wearing a leather jacket, bandana, and a dark helmet revved his engine as he sped past them. He was Travis, a ruthless biker who thrived on causing chaos and enjoying the discomfort of others. His reputation was infamous in the city. He loved nothing more than testing people's patience and making others feel small. Travis pulled over by a nearby bench, removed his helmet, and strutted over to where Keanu and Max were standing. With a smug look on his face, he glanced at the dog, who was sitting obediently by Keanu's side. "Hey, pretty little dog. What's the matter? Too good to bark?" Travis taunted. Keanu didn't respond, choosing instead to ignore him. He had no time for the rudeness of others. He continued to pat Max's head, grateful for the comfort his dog always gave him. But Travis, feeling cocky and itching for a reaction, decided to take things a step further. He looked around, ensuring no one was watching, and suddenly, out of nowhere, kicked Max. The dog yelped and stumbled backward, startled and confused as Keanu's eyes widened in shock. The confrontation Max quickly recovered, but Keanu's anger flared. He immediately stepped forward and grabbed Travis by the shoulder, spinning him around. "You think that's funny?" Keanu's voice was calm, but his gaze was ice cold. Travis sneered and shrugged nonchalantly. "It's just a dog. What's the big deal?" Keanu's eyes narrowed as the words left Travis's mouth. He had never been a man to use his fame or status to intimidate others, but now, his protective instincts as a dog owner kicked in. "You don't understand what you've done," Keanu said quietly, his voice growing sharper. "That's my dog." Travis laughed, clearly unaware of who Keanu was. "Yeah? So what? What are you going to do about it, old man?" The revelation. Just as Keanu was about to respond, a soft voice interrupted them. "Is everything okay here?" Keanu turned to see a park ranger walking toward them, a woman in her 30s with a concerned look on her face. She had witnessed the entire incident and wasn't having it. She had heard about Travis's behavior before and wasn't about to let him get away with it. "Officer," Keanu said, his voice calm but with an underlying authority. "This man kicked my dog for no reason. He needs to be dealt with." The park ranger's eyes flicked from Keanu to Travis, who was still smirking. "That's a serious accusation. I'll need to get your information and file a report." Travis's smirk faltered for a moment, but he quickly recovered, still completely unaware of who Keanu was. "Whatever," he muttered. "I'm not afraid of some report." As the ranger took down Keanu's information, Keanu stood still, holding Max close to him, making sure his dog was okay. Max was a little shaken, but he was resilient. Keanu gently petted him, whispering calming words to him. The ranger finished her report and turned back to Travis. "You'll have to leave, sir. You've been reported for animal cruelty." Travis sneered, mounting his motorcycle with one last defiant glare at Keanu. "You'll regret this," he spat, revving the engine before speeding off into the distance. The unexpected turn. As the situation began to settle, Keanu looked down at Max, who was now wagging his tail again. Keanu couldn't help but smile, grateful that his dog was unharmed. He walked over to the park bench to sit and catch his breath, Max following closely behind. The park ranger sat beside him, offering a comforting presence. "I've seen that guy around before. He's always causing trouble," she said. "Glad I was here to help." Keanu nodded, offering a small smile. "Thank you. I'm just glad Max is all right." "You're welcome. And just so you know," the ranger said, her eyes twinkling with amusement, "I'm sure he didn't realize who you were." Keanu raised an eyebrow, confused. "What do you mean?" The ranger smirked. "You're Keanu Reeves. He had no clue." Keanu blinked in surprise, then chuckled softly. "Well, it doesn't matter now. The important thing is, Max is safe." A quiet resolution. The park ranger walked off after a few moments, leaving Keanu and Max alone again. Keanu leaned back, feeling the weight of the confrontation slowly dissipating. As he sat there, reflecting on the events, he felt a new sense of appreciation for his quiet life and his bond with Max. He had never been one to use his fame or status to solve problems, but today he realized that sometimes you had to stand up for what was right, whether it was your dog, a loved one, or anyone who needed defending. As he looked over at Max, who was now comfortably lying next to him, Keanu whispered, "You're worth it, buddy." The biker's realization. Meanwhile, Travis had pulled over at a nearby bar, still fuming about the encounter. He sat at a table nursing a drink, but something kept bothering him. He pulled out his phone and searched the name Keanu Reeves. His eyes widened as he saw a photo of the actor with Max. "No way," Travis muttered under his breath. "I kicked his dog?" The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. He had no idea who Keanu was, until now. The apology. The next day, Travis arrived at the park, trying to find Keanu to apologize. He had a lot of pride, but even he knew when he had crossed a line. Keanu was there again, walking Max along the path. As they neared each other, Travis hesitated, then stopped. "Hey, I'm sorry about what happened yesterday," Travis said, his voice more subdued than it had been the day before. "I didn't know who you were. I was just being an idiot." Keanu stopped and looked at him for a moment, then nodded slowly. "It's all right. Just remember, dogs are more than just pets. They're family." Travis nodded, genuinely remorseful. "I get it now." Keanu smiled faintly. "Good." And with that, the two parted ways. One man learning the hard way and the other reaffirming that protecting his loved ones was more important than any confrontation. The end.